guys, so today I wanted to do a short video for you to kind of go over a Pinterest fail. I tried something today, actually yesterday and today, and I kept going with it to think maybe I'm just need to keep going, because sometimes that happens where you'll get 50% of the way through and the look will start to develop. This look really never took off. So that's what happens sometimes when we try to search the internet and we look at Pinterest and we go, ooh, we really want to do that. Sometimes they don't give you all of the instructions. Sometimes they don't give you all the products. They maybe just tell you one or two things and yeah, this is how I achieved this beautiful look. Well, let me tell you, I used the two products that they used. The person did put like a very, very nominal little instructional, but not really. So anyway, I kind of have a feeling there might have been some steps left out. That's one of the reasons I love how-to videos, is because you go through each step for the person and there's nothing that gets left out. When things are written on a Pinterest pin and they're kind of left open to interpretation, yeah, we don't really know if we're working with all the right products or the steps. So anyway, it just didn't go the way I wanted. So here's the thing. Can I fix it? Absolutely. So what happens when you have a piece that you're working on? And we're just gonna focus on staining today because it's a little bit more difficult to redo a stain project than it is paint, right? Because you can just kind of paint over paint. You can't necessarily always just stain over stain. So one of the things I want to tell you guys today is when you're working with a certain brand and you have a fail, but you know, we're not going to trash this or scrap the project. There's two things you can do. You can continue to stain over what you've got here, or you can sand it back down to bare wood and start over. Well, that's really not an option for me. I don't want to do that. I spent quite a long time yesterday sanding this back down to bare wood, and being that I'm still on one leg with this cast, yeah, not an option. Just don't want to go there. So the secondary option is to go ahead and stain over it. Now keep in mind, obviously, if you've got a dark stain, you can't go lighter. That's just not gonna take. So you can definitely continue with a stain process without sanding back down to bare wood and starting from scratch, but you're gonna have to go darker. So I'll show you guys here in just a minute what this piece looks like. And then I'm gonna go ahead and go over it with the Kona stain, which is one of my favorite colors. It's a really dark stain, so it will cover up this look that I've got going on, which I don't even know what this look is. So anyway, it was supposed to be dark walnut and sun bleached. I don't know if I said that earlier. And it was kind of just supposed to be these two stains that kind of mix and melt together. You put the dark walnut on and then you kind of dry brush the sun bleached over and wipe it back. Yeah, it did not work. I've done this type of a process before and had no issues, but yeah, it just didn't work. So I was either missing a step or missing a product. So that's just the one thing I do want to say. If you decide that there's an issue with your stain project, then I always recommend stay with the same brand. In this instance, I'm using Varathane products. I'm not gonna go back over this with General Finishes products. You never know how two different brands are gonna mix together. And sometimes, quite frankly, they just don't. They have different makeups in the product that sometimes can cause reactions. So my recommendation, stick with the product line that you're using. I've even had problems before with using a particular stain and then going over it with a different brand of polyurethane and seeing that there was not that same beautiful finish and there was a reaction. So I always like to stick with the same brand. So I am going to go ahead and stick with my Varathane brand and continue to go over this in a darker color, and hopefully we'll be able to salvage it. Now, if I can't, bottom line, I can always sand down to bare wood as much as I don't want to and start from scratch. So let me go ahead and show you guys what I ended up with. This is an oak piece. And first of all, you can see, and I could have kept going to see if I could develop the look a little bit better, but honestly, guys, I just didn't love it. It's just not looking the way at all that I wanted it to look. The oak is coming through too warm underneath, and for this type of look, it's just not working. So that's what we're working with here. So I'm gonna show you guys after I put the Kona stain on how it looks, and hopefully we'll be able to salvage. All right, so give me a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and layer on that Kona stain. This Varathane stain is a 1 hour dry stain. So it's really cool because you obviously don't have to wait 24 hours in between these stain coats. to go ahead and recoat. So I'm gonna go ahead, without doing anything to this, lay down the Kona stain and wipe it back, and let's see what we come up with, and I'll show you guys in that next segment. So there's one thing I do want to mention that is really helpful, and that is a product that you can use also. When I turned off the camera, I was running my hands over it, and I felt like that sun bleach that I dry brushed on this morning, I just felt like it just hadn't really cured and it wasn't ready. So I thought, you know, I'm gonna use my magic eraser. It's all purpose. You can use it for so many different things in your workshop, but it is the mineral spirits. And so I went ahead and soaked a rag in mineral spirits, and I wiped off literally all that sun bleach. So if it's fresh stain, you can use that mineral spirits to go ahead and wipe off any of that stain that you don't want on there. It won't hurt it at all when you layer up your next coat of stain. Actually, you can use mineral spirits as a pre-wood conditioner as well. So a lot of times to alleviate splotchiness in a really dry piece, you can coat in mineral spirits, a slip coat they call it, and then go forward with your staining. So it won't hurt anything. So I did want to mention that's another helpful tip. If you have a problem like I'm having today and you want to remove that fresh stain that you just put on, or you can use it for a fresh top coat too. Let's say you put your top coat on and all of a sudden this gust of wind comes in and blows in a bunch of stuff in your top coat and you just can't salvage it. Being that it's extremely fresh, you can take that mineral spirits. Now I will warn you, it is not a clean fix. It is a little messy. So wear gloves and have a lot of rags on hand, but you can wipe that right off. So let me show you guys. Earlier you could see the two different stains. Now you only see the one coat of the base stain. I went ahead and wiped off with the mineral spirits all that sun bleached. So it is now going to be ready for me to coat it in the Kona. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I will come back as soon as I wipe it off and it's freshly stained with the darker color. To give you guys a quick shot, this is the Varathane Kona stain that has been put on the dresser. I'm letting it sit for 2 to 3 minutes. That's kind of the recommendation with this stain. Really let it soak in, and then I'll wipe it back. I just wanted to show you guys so you could see the stages of how this is going to get fixed and look better. So you can see how obviously dark this Kona stain is. You will definitely see the difference when I wipe it back. Okay, so I went ahead and put on the first coat of the Kona stain over it. Now I'm gonna let this sit actually longer than an hour just because I feel like I've worked with it so much in the last 24 hours. I will probably let this sit up for 2 hours before I do another recoat. I really have changed my mind since my first look didn't work right, and I really want to go for the darker look. So I'm still getting quite a lot of the oak golden color coming through, and I really don't want that. I will definitely still be able to see the grain, but I just want to build it up to a deeper, richer color. So it's totally changed the entire look of what I was going for with this project, from the paint to the stain, and that's totally okay. Sometimes that happens and you have to be flexible. So anyway, it's still going to be gorgeous when it's all said and done, and I'm kind of excited because I've never painted the color that I'm going to paint this dresser. So let me just show you guys a close-up of what it looks like after that Kona stain has been on and soaked in for about 2 to 3 minutes. I completely wiped it back. I don't like it to look like it's been painted on. I do want to see the natural grain of that oak, so I do definitely wipe back all of my pieces. So let me just show you that, and then what I'll do is once I layer up that second coat of the Kona stain, if that's where I'm going with the look, then I'll show you guys after the final. But I'm hoping that this video was helpful to you because we've all been there. We've all started projects and not known what to do because they're not going the right way. So the one thing I can tell you, if you're painting furniture and staining furniture, be flexible because things happen. So products don't work. Things don't work the way you want them to always. So be flexible, know that there's always different options that you can do, and yeah, so let me show you the stain that we've got on here. All right, so here is the first coat of the Kona stain. As you can see, it's definitely covered up that lighter color, but it is not achieving quite yet the look that I want it to, so I'm gonna continue to keep going so that I can build this up and have it be way darker. All right, you guys, so I've gone ahead and layered up my second coat of the Kona stain. I'll go ahead and show you that up close in just a minute so you can see how it is beginning to darken. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys today. It's just one of those, what do I do? And I thought it would be a great opportunity for me to film this for you so you can see that you don't need to scrap the project, you don't need to start all over unless you want to go with that lighter stain. So you can achieve not doing that by going darker, and so that is what I opted to do, was go darker with my stain, and it is working out just beautifully, so it's no problem at all. I will probably go ahead and put one more coat on just to get that really deep, dark, rich look that I'm going for. And I made a mistake. Off camera, I discovered that the dresser is pecan, not oak, which kind of makes more sense. Oak has a tendency to come through orange, pecan more golden orange, and that is why I think I was having such a problem. Some woods just stain differently, and so because I was trying to go with these light, cool colors, that pecan, orangish, golden color kept coming through. So anyway, the darker stain is a better option for this dresser. So I'll show you guys up close. Thanks for watching today. I hope this video was helpful. I appreciate you being subscribers. Keep subscribing so you can get all my videos, and I will catch you on the next one. Thanks so much. You guys, there is the final of 3 coats of the Kona stain, which completely just changed the entire look of this piece, and I actually really like it. On camera, it has a tendency to look a little lighter and redder. It doesn't look like that in person at all. It's actually, I would say probably 2 shades darker in person, but I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like from the beginning to the end.